The Second Coming of Jesus Christ. A story. In a world fraught with chaos and uncertainty, there was a growing sense that something monumental was about to happen. Nations were in turmoil, and people were searching for hope amid the darkness. Little did they know the skies were about to change forever. The arrival. One bright morning, as the sun rose over the horizon, the clouds began to swirl and part. A brilliant light shone through, brighter than the sun itself. From the heavens, Jesus Christ descended on a white horse, clad in majestic robes, a crown upon his head, and a sword in his hand, symbolizing his authority and power. Every eye was drawn to him, and a hush fell over the earth as people looked up in awe. The gathering. Believers from every corner of the globe gathered, drawn to his presence. They rejoiced, their hearts filled with hope and anticipation. Families embraced, tears of joy streaming down their faces as they were reunited in faith. The earth trembled with the weight of his glory, and a trumpet sounded, heralding the arrival of the King. The judgment. As Jesus arrived, he called forth all nations. A great gathering took place before him, where every person would stand to account for their lives. The righteous were welcomed with open arms, their names inscribed in the book of life. They heard the words, "Well done, good and faithful servant," and were invited to enter the eternal kingdom prepared for them. But there were others, those who had turned away, who had chosen to live in disbelief, denying the truth and love of God. They stood in fear as their actions were revealed. Each person was confronted with the choices they made, the moments they ignored the whispers of the Holy Spirit, and the times they rejected the message of grace. The lake of fire. In Revelation, it is written that the unrighteous would be cast into the lake of fire, an eternal separation from God. As the final verdict was pronounced, a sorrowful silence enveloped the crowd. The faces of the unbelievers reflected disbelief, regret, and despair. They realized that their rejection of Christ had led them to this moment. With heavy hearts, the righteous watched as those who had turned away from God were led away, swallowed by the darkness of the lake of fire. It was a solemn reminder of the consequences of free will and the choice between light and darkness. The new creation. As the scene unfolded, the heavens opened wider, revealing a new heaven and a new earth. Jesus turned to the faithful, his eyes filled with love. "Behold, I am making all things new," he proclaimed. The righteous entered into a place where there was no more pain, sorrow, or death, only joy, peace, and the presence of God. Conclusion. In the aftermath of the Second Coming, the world was forever changed. The faithful celebrated in the eternal kingdom, while the lake of fire served as a sobering reminder of the choice each person must make, to embrace the light of Christ or to remain in the shadows. This story serves as a call to action for all to seek the truth, embrace faith, and share the hope of salvation through Jesus Christ, for the day of his return will surely come.